Before there was a nation, before there was a flag, there was a land, vast, untamed, and alive. Long before European ships touched its shores, this land was home to thriving civilizations. Native American nations, such as the Cherokee, Iroquois, and Sioux, they built societies rooted in harmony with nature, rich in culture, trade, and governance. But across the ocean, a storm was forming, one that would change this land forever. A new world awakens. Before it became a global superpower, before its cities touched the sky, there was only wilderness and a dream. Long before the United States was born, this land was home to thriving indigenous civilizations, diverse, complex, and deeply connected to nature. But in the late 15th century, everything changed. When European explorers arrived, they brought ambition, conflict, and transformation. The first colonies. In 1607, the English established Jamestown settlement in Virginia, the first permanent foothold in North America. Life was brutal. Disease, famine, and conflict nearly destroyed the colony. But survival meant adaptation and expansion. Soon, more colonies followed. In 1620, the Pilgrims arrived aboard the Mayflower, seeking religious freedom. They formed the Mayflower Compact, an early experiment in democracy. Over time, 13 colonies emerged along the eastern coast, each with its own identity, but all tied to the British Crown. Seeds of rebellion. As the colonies grew, so did their desire for autonomy. But Britain, burdened by war debts, imposed heavy taxes without representation. The cry echoed across the colonies: no taxation without representation. In 1773, defiance erupted in the Boston Tea Party, a bold act of resistance against British rule. The empire responded with force. War was coming. The American Revolution. In 1775, the first shots of the American Revolutionary War were fired. Colonists, farmers, laborers, and merchants rose against the most powerful empire in the world. Leading them was George Washington, a determined general who held together a fragile army against overwhelming odds. In 1776, a bold declaration changed history forever: the Declaration of Independence. It was more than words. It was a promise that all men are created equal. With support from France, the colonists achieved victory in 1783. A new nation was born. Building a nation. Victory brought freedom, but also uncertainty. How would this new nation govern itself? In 1787, leaders gathered to draft the United States Constitution, a revolutionary system balancing power between branches of government. Soon after came the Bill of Rights, guaranteeing fundamental freedoms. The United States was no longer an idea. It was a functioning republic. With independence secured, the young nation looked west. In 1803, the Louisiana Purchase doubled the nation's size overnight. Explorers ventured into unknown lands. Settlers followed, driven by a belief known as manifest destiny, the idea that expansion was inevitable. But this growth came at a cost. Native American lands were seized. Cultures were displaced. A darker chapter unfolded beneath the banner of progress. Division and civil war. As the nation expanded, a deep divide grew over slavery, economy, and power. In 1861, the American Civil War erupted. Brother fought against brother. The nation nearly tore itself apart. Under the leadership of Abraham Lincoln, the Union fought to preserve the nation and end slavery. In 1865, the war ended. The Union stood, but at a devastating cost. Through 2 world wars and global conflicts, the United States emerged as a dominant force, militarily, economically, and culturally. Its influence reached every corner of the globe, from scattered colonies to a global superpower. The rise of the United States is a story of ambition, sacrifice, and resilience. A nation forged in revolution, tested in division, and driven by the pursuit of something greater. But its story is still being written, because history never truly ends.